Hi, are you guys still there? Let us know if you're still here. Um, we are at home, and so we want to make sure that you guys can hear us and see us and all of that. And we're only one of us. I think last time I did this, I had to actually quit it and restart it. So let's see if people join back in or not.
I see it on mine.
Okay, so we got 6 people in the house. Hi everybody. Hi Christy. Hi Kelly. Hi Brenda. Who else is here? Where are you watching from and what's your weather like?
Our weather's been crazy.
Cray cray. It has. Fingers crossed the signal will remain solid because we're at home. So Chris did some finagling and with his little tech genius, and we're going to try and do this live from home tonight. All right. Now, I saw we had a couple comments. Somebody said they're going to be at Baker Creek. Who's going to be at Baker Creek, Chris?
That's Penny Byington.
All right. Look for me. I will be there. And Alicia is watching from California where it's nice and sunny. I need to change this to the live chat as well so that Chris doesn't have to tell me every time somebody says something. All right. There's everybody. All right. So let's take a minute and see who's here. We've got Penny. We've got Christy. We've got Rebecca, Brenda, Alexis. And that's about it. And Kelly's watching. She's having a hard time. She can't comment, but she's here. So hi, Kelly. Glad you're in the house.
And Haley just popped in.
Haley?
Raining hard in Utah. I think that might have been part of what made it our way. She said it's raining hard yesterday, or maybe it's yet to come.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have been watching the weather. We have had quite an experience. In fact, we are at home tonight because we cannot get out around the corner.
Yeah, the storm really came through and kicked in last night. What our weather station recorded 5.3 inches of rain. I think it was probably
in
just
a 12-hour period.
In a 12-hour period, right? Between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. this morning. That's just kind of crazy.
Can I tell a little story on you about when I came home last night?
I guess.
So yesterday I worked in Springfield, and while I was working, there was a tornado warning there, and we all had to go to an interior hallway. And there were 2 storm fronts coming through, and on the radar map, one was like a small one like this, and then behind it there was a big one like that, right? So this one passed over me about 5:36 in Springfield, and then it came, and then there was this big gap, and I got off work at 7 p.m. and I was right in that gap, and then it hit Ava, and both of our girls were working up in the nursing home, and then the tornado warning hit Ava, and they had to take shelter in a room there with all the residents, with all the staff and all of that. And so I got off work, and I'm like in here, and I'm driving, and I know I'm chasing this front, and I really didn't want to catch up with it, but this one looked a lot worse, so I wanted to get home before this one hit. So I drove as quickly as I safely could, right at the speed limit. And I had to come across. It was traveling west to east, and I was going eastward. And then I turned straight down towards Ava. And right as I turned down towards Ava from Mansfield, excuse me, I got a little bit of rain on me, not too bad. And when I got into Ava, I called my mom and I said, "How's the creek?" And I called Chris, and he's like, "I'll go check it out." So I decided I was gonna go home the longer way, which is like all dirt road, 2 miles, because you don't have to cross the creek. You can just go around the corner by the creek. So in the meantime, Chris got in his car. He crossed the creek. He went all the way up to the top of KK and back. And as I'm turning onto our dirt road, I get a text that says, "Hey, I just went all the way up KK. Creek is fine. You won't have any problem." I'm like, "Well, I already came in the back way." So about what, 5 minutes later, maybe?
If that.
I come down. I come around the corner. The creek is roaring. It's totally not crossable, and the water's coming up onto the road. And I was like, "Wow." So I got home and I texted our girls because they were still working. And I told Chris, I was like, "The water's on the road." And he looked at me and he goes, "No, it isn't." And I said, "I just drove through it. The water's on the road." He said, "There's no way there's water on that road. I just drove up to KK and
it was barely trickling over the low water bridge at the time.
Right. Like barely like this much water, just like our normal amount. And I was like, "It's not like that now, I promise." And so we got back in his car and we drove down to look. And by the time I convinced him to go look at it, the like when I came through around the corner like this, probably half the road, like my passenger side tires were in the water, my other side were dry. By the time we got down there, it was across the road. It wasn't deep yet, but it was across the road. And so we texted the girls and we're like, don't try and come home. Find someone to stay with. So they texted like 3 or 4 friends, and they found a family friend, another family who's friends with our family, and they were able to stay there overnight. All right, now we got some things we need to talk about.
We got a few new people checking in. The Grateful Sunites.
Jay, hello.
Luke Horning. And Zero Homestead over, it looks probably in Hawaii somewhere, since there's an Aloha folks.
Yes. So there's a couple questions, and we that is our back way. Now we have 3 ways into our property. So we have KK, which is a county highway or state highway, I guess. It's paved. That's the way we come in most of the time, because it just leads right to dirt. Then we have 2 dirt roads that go out, and either one of them is a long way. But if we go out one, there's a creek crossing.
There's actually 4 creek crossings that way.
That way? Are there really that many?
Yeah.
Oh, but
they're just little
sometimes
tiny.
They're dry.
Yeah.
But so that if we can't cross at our normal way, we can't cross down there. Then there's another county road that is basically no creek crossings. There's one area by that little blue house where it kind of gets, sometimes water gets over it, but rarely. And then there's the corner. So the only time we can't get out is when there's water on that corner. Or, as if in today, the water came through so fast that it actually washed the road out of that corner. And there's a big culvert. How big? About this big around?
Yeah, it's like a 24-inch culvert.
It's like about that big around. And it sits on one part of the corner where you come down like this. It's on this end of it. And so it washed out from the culvert like that. So there's about a drop like this big.
All right, so less hand motions, and that's going to help our bandwidth out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Chris says you will be able to see the video better, and it won't be so janky if I can stop moving my hands around. That's a little hard for me, but I'll try.
Yeah, and the sound is a little bumpy, so just talk a little bit slower.
Okay. So I have to slow it down. So one of the things that Chris wanted to talk about is, so what do you do if you live somewhere when you can't cross a creek? What are you gonna do? And also, I see Brenda says it's a dirt road, so can the road crew fix it pretty quickly? Yes and no. Yes, they can. And actually, we live in farmer country, so probably a neighbor with a tractor will come and fix it.
More than likely.
One actually came by this morning, but there was still too much water on the road. They couldn't do anything. The and no part is because there are so many dirt roads washed out in our county right now. There was in Ava, they told me they recorded 7 inches of rain in that same storm front. That the road crews are busy working all over. I also saw that Luke asked whether we lost power.
Someone's asking if you cut your hair too.
Yep, I did. We did lose power, but just off and on, Chris said, not for any length of time.
Yeah, it flickered off and on for a good hour, and then it went off for about 5 minutes, and then it came back on and stayed on after that.
Right, and our microwave and oven still have not been reset yet. So the last time it went off was like, I don't know.
Yesterday, sometime.
Last night. Yeah. Our road crews around here are amazing. And we also have a Facebook group called Road Conditions in our city that people will post and say how the road conditions are. The sheriff was posting. The Ava Emergency Center was posting. There was also, in addition to this storms and the flash flooding that was going on, sorry, my hands, we also had tornado warnings all night long.
Yeah, there were several funnel clouds that were photographed, and then I don't know if there were some touchdowns or not.
There were in Wheaton, Missouri. There's a barn destroyed in Squires, which is really close to us. It's just south of Ava. I don't think anything in Ava. I think Lebanon maybe had some tornado damage. I'm not sure. So it was quite an ordeal. And I would say the worst part for us is that my tiny dog, I don't know where she is. I don't know if you guys have met Oakley. She hates storms, and so all night long she's on our bed hyperventilating and breathing hard. Oh, so yes, I did get a haircut. So here it is. It's just a blunt cut all the way around. I've been trying to grow it out, and I'm fresh out of the shower. I'll explain that in a second. Not that you need to be explained what a shower is, but why right now. My hair, I'd been trying to grow it long, but I hadn't got a haircut in a long, long time, and I had so many dead ends and so many layers, and I just got tired of it, and I went into one of those cheap stores where you know, it's $5 extra if you want a shampoo. It's $5 extra if you want them to style it, and you know, they're probably fresh out of school or not very good. And I said, just cut it off, get rid of any of the layers you have to, get rid of any of the dead ends you have to, and even if it's just a blunt bob, as long as it's longer than my chin, which it is when it's straight. I haven't straightened it though.
1 Acre Under God said their storm cellar was even flooded with about a foot of water last night.
Wow, that's pretty bad. And I saw Kevin and Sarah's Facebook said that they went down in their storm shelter 4 times last night.
Wow.
Yep. All right. Well,
that's one of the nice things about having ours built inside the house.
Yes.
We don't have to get wet to get in it.
We have a storm shelter built in the corner of our house. It also doubles as a storage room, so anytime there's storm warnings, we have to go in and make sure that there's room for us to get in there.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
We need to take care of that sometimes.
All right. So let's see what else we've got.
So Ozark and Rogerville are
Yep.
reporting some damage.
You know who Skipper Dog is?
Yes, I
You should know her. I'm going to see if he knows who you are, Skipper Dog.
I don't know.
She's someone we know from California who now goes to school here in Missouri.
Oh, okay. I know.
It's
Yes, blonde hair. Yes.
say her name for me.
Sarah.
Sarah, thank you.
Not a Farm Girl number 2.
Yes.
If y'all haven't seen that video, Not a Farm Girl number 2, that's Skipper Dog.
Welcome. Brenda asks, do we have a backup energy source?
We do. We have a Honda generator. That's one of the inverter style. It's really just sips the gas, so it can run on about a gallon of gas for 6 to 8 hours, depending on the load. No, I didn't fire it up because the power wasn't out long enough.
In fact, in the 5 years we've lived here, I don't think we have had need to. Our energy company is really good at responding and getting stuff back up pretty quick.
Yeah, they are. White River is just top notch.
Yeah, it's
good people.
It's a co-op. It's an electric co-op. Let's see. What else have we got?
We also have inverters and battery bank stuff that we can hook onto our cars or anything else like that to draw power into the house if we needed to.
Right. And really, we could live with, other than our freezer full of pork, we could live without.
Right. If I'm hooking up that generator, it's going to be to plug in that freezer because that's an investment of time and energy and a little bit of money.
Yeah, exactly. Jay says, when I was a kid, if there was a bad storm coming, we would fill pitchers with water to have some on hand. We never had a generator. My mom showered on the back porch in a rainstorm once.
Times have changed.
If it wasn't thundering and lightning and tornado warning, I wouldn't mind taking a rain shower, probably.
Yeah, I kind of felt sorry for our cows a little bit, and I was like, I should go open the barn and let them in. And then lightning hit on the hill just on the other side of our property. And I mean, it was the flash and the crack just all at the same time. And I'm like, no, not happening. I'm not going out there in that.
He didn't realize they already had access to the run-in where the horses used to be.
No, I did not realize that.
So they did have shelter. And when I got up this morning, they were in that shelter. We actually took a lot of video today, and we will be posting that on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. A little Saturday recap of all the stuff we did. Cool.
And then on Monday, we'll be posting a little video about what we got with our Lowe's coupon. So for those of you who got a Lowe's coupon.
Yeah, if you caught our live stream earlier this week, it was just a real short one that Lorella did. Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Lowe's had a coupon code. You just type in your phone. They send you back a link. You tap the link and it pops up in a coupon. We got one for $100. So we made the trip to the big city to spend our $100.
Yeah. And so this is how my weekend went. Maybe you can sympathize with me. Friday, I worked a job subbing for a school system from 8:30 a.m. to 2:30. And then I had to stay in Springfield because I had another job doing a conference from 6 o'clock p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Then I had to drive home to sleep. And now this is my own fault because I accepted these jobs. I knew what I was getting into. I didn't, however, realize there was going to be construction on the way. I chose to go home, and so it took me an extra half hour to get home. So I got home about midnight. I turned around. I got up the next morning around 4:30 to be back at that job at 7 a.m. I worked till 1 p.m. Saturday. From there, I went straight to where my daughter was getting ready with her friend for senior prom. And so I guess that was Saturday, not Sunday, that happened. I'm not sure. My days aren't.
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday. My daughter had her senior prom, so she got ready with her friend, and a big group of their friends got together, and we did pictures and all of that. Then we went to her school from there. Her school does something kind of interesting. Y'all let me know if you've ever heard of this before. It's called Promenade. So on prom, our little tiny town is not big enough to host, there's no venue to have prom. So rather than have it in the school gym, they rent or they charter buses, like nice air conditioned buses, and they rent a room, an event venue in Springfield that's catered, and they have the dance there, and it's pretty nice. So they all go, all the chaperones ride together, which actually I like because it's nice to know where your kid is and who's driving them and all of that, especially when it's so late at night. So, but Promenade is before they load the buses, they go to the auditorium, the Performing Arts Center, and each couple and from her school, lots of friend groups go. So not everybody's a couple, but whoever buys their tickets together, they walk across the stage in pairs, and they stop in the stoplight, and they do a little pose or a little turn or whatever. It's pretty cute, and then go on. And it's their junior, senior prom, and pretty much I think the whole high school goes. So I went and did that. So I probably got home, I don't know, 5:30. Chris and Leslie were at a homeschool graduation for some friends of ours. And Chris and I went upstairs. I took a shower. I'm exhausted. I'm working on 4.5 hours sleep here. I'm ready to just kick it. I get in the bed, and right as I'm getting ready to silence my phone, Chris texts. Everybody texts spring to this number. See what kind of coupon you get. So I'm like, okay, fine. $5. I'm not going. Well, he got a $100 coupon. So then we're on this big family group text chat. We're talking about it. And I realized after reading the details, you have to use it that day. So I texted him. I'm like, you realize you have to go to Springfield today to use that, right? And he said, yeah. I said, do you want me to join you? And he was actually really nice. He said, I know you're really tired. If you don't want to come, that's fine. And I was like, no, I'll go with you. So then I got back up and went, and we didn't get home, so I don't know, like 10 o'clock.
It was after 10 because we stopped for pizza on the way home.
We did. So they got done. They closed at 9:05, and the guy was like trying to usher us out at that time because we hadn't gotten in line yet to buy our stuff.
Hey, Wendy.
So there we go. So I was exhausted, but it came out good because he bought me something. All right, so let's see what we've got. Let's see. Brenda asks, when I sub for the schools, is it signing and interpreting? Yes, it is. When they're regular, our interpreters are out. So for those of you who don't know, I work as a sign language interpreter, and I interpret doctor's appointments, business meetings, conferences, dance and shows. I sub in the schools when their regular interpreters are out. And I pretty much cover all of southern Missouri. I'm going to Poplar Bluff next week.
Oh, so they want to know what you bought.
No, we're not telling. They have to wait and watch the video.
Okay, we're not going to say. Gotcha.
Yep. So Wendy's asking, what did I miss? So Wendy, we were talking about the storms here in southern Missouri and the flooding and why we're stuck at home tonight and not going to church. And then we talked about the Lowe's coupon and the deal that they had.
The suspense is killing
All right. So I want to know, with the thumbs up, how many of you have ever heard of Promenade? Does your school or your kid's school do anything similar to that? Or is that unique to our town? Let's see. What else do we have going on? Cranky Babushka says her high school did Promenade. That's cool. Yeah, Jay, I kind of live tired. Somebody was asking me the other day about my busy schedule and whether I was tired, and I kind of replied just like laughing. I was like, yes, I just live tired. I'm
So,
tired.
Flying V's actually brought up our next topic. How
Yeah.
did your screen time challenge go? That's something we want to talk about tonight.
Yes, it is. Okay, so I think we have a few more people here than were here last week. So let's talk real quickly about what the screen time challenge was. And for those of you who participated, I'm going to ask you to tell us your numbers. I had been doing some research. As you know, I really just like to hang out with you guys and kind of share my life and what's going on. And we talk about any personal growth type things. And so I had watched these videos last week where the people were talking about how much being on your phone can detract from your focus, from your creativity, and how good it is to be bored, because when your mind wanders, then often you come up to solutions to problems that you're working on, things like that. So if you want to know all the details about that, you can watch last week's live stream. And so after doing that, I looked at my phone and I realized I was on my phone an average of 8 hours a day, which is a lot. I mean, that's as much as I sleep, right? And so my goal was to cut that time in half. And so let me just pull it up real quick. Chris, do you want to answer the question about what church we attend?
Oh, I just typed it in. But yeah, we go to Ava Assembly of God. It's right on.
It's online.
The
You
main-
can join us on Facebook every
No,
week.
actually, the camera thing broke. So
Oh, we're
it's
not online anymore? Oh,
no,
bummer.
about 2 weeks. It's been
If you're ever
broken.
in town, you want to meet us up at church, we'd be happy to have any of you join us.
Yep, we'll let you sit by you.
All right. We'll even sit by you.
So
No, we'll make them sit on the other side.
So I wasn't part of the screen challenge thing. I wasn't really doing that, but I did delete the Facebook app and the Messenger app off my phone this week.
And how do you?
I did it because I thought
Here, come and screen.
I did it because I thought Facebook had just overstepped their bounds one more time too many. When I found out that they were like capturing people's contact information, like their email contacts out of their email accounts without their knowledge, and you know that, and the microphone on your phone's always listening, and you're getting advertisements in your Facebook about something you talked about. Like, I work as a probation officer, and I talk about marijuana, CBD oil, other illicit drugs with my clientele, and then lo and behold, I start getting advertisements for that in my Facebook.
Okay,
channel.
I'm going to interrupt him right here. The reason he's talking about drugs with his clients is not because he deals.
No, I said I was a probation
Oh,
officer.
you did say that. Okay,
Yeah.
I was looking at my phone.
So I work as a probation officer in our town, and it just kind of crossed the threshold for me that I couldn't abide. So anyway, having done that, deleting Facebook off my account, my phone and everything, my screen time, I feel I'm a lot more productive. Number one. Yeah, I do have the habitual reach for my phone. I want to look at something, and it's not there, and then I'll just go on to something else. So, that's part of the tale is that it has.
You did notice it affects your
Yeah.
productivity.
Oh yeah, my productivity's way up.
Yep. So that's interesting because I do not feel. Well, first of all, I will tell you that my screen time, my goal was to drop it by 50%, and it's down 25%. So Thursday, for an average of 5 hours and 43 minutes a day. Thursday and Friday were under 5 hours, which was, my goal was 4 hours. And then Saturday, it was through the roof. And that's the day we did the coupon thing.
Yeah.
I was taking pictures. We were talking to each other. I did a YouTube live. All of that was from my phone. So I think that had a lot to do with why it shot up. We posted pictures of prom pictures. We sent it out to families. So lots of texting and stuff that day. Sunday was very little. So that's good. Monday was a little bit higher. Monday was high, and then yesterday was high. And yesterday, I think a lot of it too was with watching storm and weather and all of that. So I did okay. I have not noticed an increase in productivity yet. We also talked about those stopping points. If you remember, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, our entertainment was to sit down with the family and play a game. When the game's over, it's a natural stopping point. When you watch a television show, the show ends, and it's a natural stopping point. When you know at this time when you're reading a book, you get to the end of a chapter, you decide whether you want to whether you want to read another chapter or do something different. But with Netflix or YouTube or Facebook, you get like sucked down the wormhole, and there's no natural stopping point. The feeds just go on forever. And so one person on of the 4 videos that I shared in the description of last week's video had suggested that you make natural stopping points for yourself. So you set like, okay, at the table, I will never have my phone out at the table. And so I kind of tried to do, I will never have the phone out while I'm driving, which is a good habit anyway. But what I usually do is I listen to things on my phone while I'm driving. That's where I listen to a lot of my personal growth stuff. But that I guess is counted as screen time. But I did think if I will take my drive home and use that as a natural stopping point, because number one, it's the end of my work day. So when I'm driving home, it's a good transition time. And use that time to really just be in silence. I maybe pray, let my mind wander, problem solve. So I think this week I'm going to try to add that in. Also, the people that were talking about this, when you try to change your screen time, it takes about 8 to 10 days for you to really become used to it. And I don't think I'm at that point yet. I still kind of have that tendency of wanting to grab my phone all the time. And then we also use our phone to take video a lot, so that
Right,
adds
for
to
the
screen
channel,
time.
Yeah.
When like I have a big Canon camera, which we will take with us. We do most of our video on it, but a lot of time we do B-roll or whatever. We're using our phones. So I just don't know. Yes, this is our Canon M50. I'm really happy with it. I wish I have a pretty hard learning curve. I'm getting better slowly. All right, I'm gonna pause for a second because I'm doing a lot more talking and a lot less checking in with you guys than I normally do.
So
let me kinda
to
see what's going
recap
on.
the weather for everyone while Lorella looks over the comments, we did have some tornadoes in our area, but nothing that we saw like from the house here. Lots of rain. We had about 6 inches of rain in a 12-hour period, like from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Just kind of crazy rain here at the house. And a lot of fence down this morning. And, the animals are all fine. The duck house and the rabbit house are all good. So no problems with that. What else?
All right.
The creek is still up. There's a tree down across the creek. We can't get out.
The road.
The road is
where
washed
we could
out
get out
really
is washed
bad.
out. But you said you're gonna try it in the morning with your 4-wheel drive.
Well, I'm hoping somebody's gonna do something to it between now and then.
Maybe somebody will get off work and come home and do it. We gotta see if Rick will come down and fix it. Oh, but here's the thing: it's supposed to storm again tonight, so I think people might just be waiting to see how that comes through.
Yeah.
All right, let me say hello to some people who joined. We've got Vicky. Hello, Little Creek. Hello, Kathleen. I'm glad you're here. Hamilton Farm. Hello. Glad you can make it.
I was just watching Kathleen's rainy day video from her front porch a few minutes before we started
Gross?
the live stream. Yep.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Luke, Brenda, Wendy, Rebecca, Brenda. I think we've said hello to everybody who came in. If I missed you.
Hey, take this opportunity to punch that thumbs up, guys. We appreciate it.
I also want to take an opportunity to say thank you to all the moderators who are here and who keep us troll free and pop up links and stuff like that. Let's see.
So Rebecca said her parents are AG missionaries.
That's
we
right.
probably we know a bunch, so there's
Yeah.
a strong possibility we may
For
know
sure. We will have to chat offline about that, Rebecca. And we were in California. So what district? What's their home district that they're missionaries out of? Because if they were out of SoCal district, then we probably do know them. Or if they're out of the Southern Missouri, SOMO, then we probably have seen them.
Our camera is a M50. It's a Canon M as in Mary 50. So here's those up there with the model number on the screen right there. I don't know if it'll focus, but hey, whatever. It's an M50. It's really good for vlogging. The little microphone is bought separately.
Yeah, we did not go with a Rode. We went with a different brand after watching a lot of
Yeah,
reviews
we went
on
with
it.
the Movo MOVO brand mic. It's very similar to the Rode, but about half the price.
And it
And
sounds a little different. There's a guy
yeah,
out
there
there.
is an A/B comparison.
Right. Because it takes out some of the tinny sounds, and I kind of feel like I get kind of tinny.
So it's got the flip out screen that pivots and all that. If you want to see yourself while you vlog, you can do that, and you can see what's going on there like that. Or flip it around back and just do standard. You can whatever you tap on the screen will come into focus. So it's
Do this, it'll
well, you know,
turn on.
yeah.
All right.
So I think Lorella did a little video on it a while back. So it's just a nice little camera.
I did a horrible unboxing video.
Yeah, there's a ton of vlogger videos though out there about this model.
Yeah. Sure.
Because of its nice compact size, it's smaller
And
than
its
most.
low price point compared to other Canons.
Yeah, so you can get into this setup for right around $600. So,
yeah, and I think we got into it a little closer to $550
because of the Black Friday sale.
Black Friday deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wendy, the storm did go that direction, so I'm sure Kabul, Houston, and Licking all got rain. I would just go to their Facebook, like search Facebook. Also, the KY3 channel is they have a weather app, which I love, and they do videos and stuff and they show the damage. So KY3 is the Springfield local news station or local station.
Well, I'm gonna be obstinate and plug my weather app, which is Weather Underground, and it actually the data from our weather station feeds into their collective, and we're part of the hive.
Okay.
Resistance is futile.
All right. I love that. Who gets that reference? Resistance is futile. Hamilton Farm says it's nice to see us being able to go live somewhere other than the church nursery. Yeah, I didn't really realize we had this option. When I've tried to go live before, we've had some problems, but Chris did a little technological magic and made it happen for me.
So we're using a mix of cellular data and Wi-Fi to go live. So coordinating like our Wi-Fi booster here, our cellular booster here at the house, with our Wi-Fi, and then merging it all together. The signal's not as good as when we're at the church, but it's there.
Yeah, it hasn't dropped yet. So, well, except for that one time. Luke says he's looking at our weather station on Wonderground now.
Yeah, ours is the one that says Big Red Barn, so that's how you know you're looking at ours.
And if you're interested in getting a weather station, we got a sweet deal on it from the Mennonite store.
Yeah, the Mennonite store haul, is that what the
Mennonite store haul video was great.
So yeah, $60 for a $260 weather station. Yay.
1 Acre Under God says KY3 is the best. I like it because they have the videos and stuff. Chris likes the tech side of the other one. So after the what's the brand of our weather station?
It's a Lacrosse.
Yeah, Lacrosse, like the sport. After the storms cleared this morning, our cows were out in the pasture. Did you talk about that?
No, I didn't.
And so I'm watching them through the window, like can't sleep. And Chris is like, they're just gonna eat grass, go back to bed. And I was like, but what if they go in the creek and get swept away? They're pregnant. We could lose more than just a cow. And so then I get up and look out again. I'm like checking them every 5 minutes. And then I see my mom out there trying to herd them in. So we finally got up and went out there and checked all the animals and everything. The weather has cleared up. It's sunny right now. There's supposed to be another storm system coming through this evening. But this afternoon, while it was clear and sunny, we went out and did a bunch of chores. Chris picked up stepping posts from where the electric fencing was down a bunch. We worked in the barn. We gave everybody fresh hay so they would have a nice dry place to be during tonight's storm. And I got really like muggy and sticky and stuff. So I took a shower. So that's why I'm wearing my hair curly and why no makeup and all of that. Let's see. Tom is in from Southern Indiana. Welcome. Glad you're
Tom.
here.
So, talking about all the weather and everything, let's talk about being prepared for maybe.
That's all you. Come on in.
That's all me.
Yeah, that's all you. Go ahead.
Being prepared for 2 or 3 days, maybe stranded at home.
There was something I wanted to talk about when Jay was talking about her mother filling up pitchers of water.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it's also good to have buckets of water, not only for bathing, but you can flush a toilet by pouring water down into it if you run out of water in your tank, or you can put it in the tank and then you can flush it if your tank doesn't refill, because toilets work off gravity.
Now we have a big storage tank as part of our well system.
We do, so we could probably, if we were careful, we could probably live on that for several days.
Oh yeah, fairly easy.
As long as we're not, letting the girls take showers or anything. But without the hot water heater going, they probably wouldn't.
We can kick the hot water heater on.
Now,
it runs on the propane.
Right, but it has a digital control thermostat.
Well, so it would just need some type of a little bit of battery power. All it uses that for is to set the temp, and then to run the electronic. Right. It's really low power draw.
Very cool. So we could, yeah. So as long as we're not letting people take long hot showers, we could probably have enough water in there to cook with and wash up some dishes. And
but so part of the whole homesteading thing is being more self-sufficient.
Yes. And
within that, being able to make it on your own when you can't get away from the house for a couple days, kind of like we are now. Having that little bit of extra canned goods or whatever, something that you've canned and put away, or something in the freezer that you can draw on those times when you can't just run to the store. So,
Yeah. Flying VS Farm says Firehouse Sub sells their used pickle buckets for $2 a bucket. How big are they?
They're 5-gallon buckets.
They are?
Yeah, pretty
I've
sure.
I've never been to Firehouse Subs. I wouldn't know.
Well, I mean, that's the same size of buckets we used when I worked at McDonald's 20 years ago. 5-gallon bucket of pickles.
I don't know how much they cost at the regular place.
So we're talking about preparedness and being prepared when you're locked in at home for a couple days. What kind of tips do you guys have for making it through these times when you just can't get out and get to the store? All right, so Grateful Sunite says 6 kids in their family. Power going out was never a big deal. We ate the stuff in the fridge first, didn't open the freezer. Lots of food in the pantry always. Never felt worried. That's how it was when I grew up. The same kind of thing. I grew up in Louisiana. We had hurricanes, and we were always just like, okay, power went out. We're just gonna throw some stuff on the grill, cook what we got, eat what we got, eat the leftovers from the fridge, and then take it from there. It didn't ever seem to be a big deal, but in today's modern society, a lot of people, they're hitting the grocery store every night on the way home from work. So
yeah, so having some food stores, and canning is something that I want to learn. We still buy canned food, which I don't even like canned food anymore. I grew up. I hope my mom's not watching. She might be watching. I grew up eating a lot of casseroles, cooking a lot of things out of a box or from a can, and I honestly didn't realize that people could buy and cook fresh vegetables until late in my life. There were a few things that we always had fresh broccoli for some reason, and fresh fruit, lots of fresh fruit in the house. But I didn't realize, like green beans, you could buy fresh green beans or fresh other kinds of vegetables. I didn't know people cooked from scratch.
Lots of offers to teach you how to can.
Oh, nice. Yes, so once I get the garden going where we have enough excess to start canning, then I will take you up on that, Vicki. For sure.
We have a nice all-American canner. If we can find it.
Yeah, it's in a box still.
It might be down in your mom's cellar.
No, I think it's right in there.
Oh, okay.
I think I've seen it since we've been here. So when we moved to my mom's here in Missouri, we had a bunch of stuff in her attic, a bunch of stuff in her cellar, and a bunch of stuff in a storage shed. And as we've been building our house, we've been bringing down more and more and more. Um, so, I
Baker
lost my
Creek's
train of
coming
thought.
up.
Yes, it is. Shall we talk about Baker Creek for a second, guys? How many of you are going to Baker Creek?
Camp stoves are awesome. Uh, you know, if you can get to like one of the Colemans that's like the dual fuel or multi fuel that'll run on uh, white gas, which is like the Coleman gas, or either gasoline or diesel, kerosene. Those are awesome. The little butane stoves are kind of cool.
One Acre Under God's going to be there both days. All right, look for us. Look for us. We're going to be there. Lots of people are going to be there. If you're going to be there and you have time on Sunday, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we're going to have a fire pit hangout here at our house. And several other YouTubers are coming. So if you want to come to a very casual, low-key YouTuber hangout, Sunday night at 7:30, and bring a lawn chair. It's family friendly. Bring your own beverages and food. Please, no alcoholic beverages. We're gonna have cornhole and just kind of hang out and have fun for a couple hours. So Jay, we are looking forward to seeing you for sure. And I was looking at the weather. Sunday still looks like it's going to be sunny and clear. Monday looks like it might be raining. I don't know. I hope it's not. I'm planning on being there both days, and I'm planning on bringing this guy along
You
for
think,
part
huh?
of Sunday. Maybe he's told me he might come.
All that walking
Yeah.
around Baker Creek, you know,
I know
that's overrated.
it's hard on your back,
That's for sure.
in a crowd of 10,000 people too.
Yeah, I think you're on there. I think you just lost.
But
some
I
hair.
need you to come pick me up though, because we'll talk about.
Oh,
that
I'll
later.
come pick you up. That's
Yeah.
not a problem.
I thought you might come in and just kind of. The speaker's tent is near the entrance, so you could just pop in and see Doug and Stacy and Kevin and
I was
Sarah.
gonna have to park and where.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I see. Little Creek Homestead just says that she can get the gas money together. She'll be at Baker Creek.
Yes, so GC Farms, if you see me there, I will have some papers with directions. So yes, you can come.
Yep, it's kind of an open invite to people that want to make the trek.
Right.
But we don't have a lot of stuff to offer, so you know
It's just
it'll be a
gonna
little
hang out with
campfire
us.
out there, and bring your own weenies and whatever you want to throw on the coals over there.
Yeah. So Jay, normally when I go to Baker Creek, I go during the middle of the week when nobody's there, and I just go in and shop and leave. Or I might go on one of their other first Sundays of the month when they have the vendors, and some friends of ours work there, and it's fun to just hang out. I don't usually do the crowds. Last year was the first year that I went to the big one because it was because like you said, I wanted to meet a bunch of other YouTubers and see them face to face, people that I'd been getting to know online. So it was actually really fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Luke's thinking about being there for the Heritage Day Festival.
There's another thing here in October out east of Ava, out
Pioneer
East
Days.
14, Pioneer Days.
Yeah.
If they're still having it, they talk every year about how it's going to be the last year, and then it seems to come back.
It always comes back for one more time.
And that's a lot of fun.
It is. I would hate to see that go. It's
Yeah.
such a good time.
And it's a similar kind of thing, reenactments. People camp
Period
out
dress.
in period dress,
Yeah.
and then there's some vendors and stuff. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for you Civil War reenactors that I know are watching right now, that'd be your kind of thing.
Yeah.
Chewy and Oakley are doing great with the chicks. We let the chicks out for the first time the other day, and they got out on the grass in the yard, and Chewy just kind of sniffed them and then just laid down, and they just kind of walked all around them like it's no big deal.
Yeah. I am more concerned about Chewy and the bunnies. He has a high level of interest in the rabbits.
Oh,
He
yeah.
goes in there and whines at the kid. I don't think he'd actually harm them, but I think he might scare them because it's kind of cute. I'll try and get on video. He and Wesley, whom you all named, will go nose to nose and sniff each other through the cage, but then Chewy whines and whines and whines in there.
So, Lorella hasn't told you what I called the bunny. She's already getting mad just thinking about it. You see that look on her face? That's her mad face. So it has this little white thing on his head.
It's shaped kind of like an
Yeah.
hourglass.
No, not quite.
Excuse me.
So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, he's got a bullet on his head. And so I started calling him Bullet Head. And she's like, please don't call him that. And then I said, well, when we were picking names, we should have thought about maybe like Harry Potter because he has that, like, you know, it's more kind of like lightning bolt shape or whatever. But anyway, I guess I'll start using Wesley since that's the name everyone picked out.
Wesley and Buttercup. Let's see. Oh, Penny, I'm sorry. I don't remember you from Baker Creek. I met a lot of people that day. I apologize. If you kind of remind me what we talked about, I probably will remember you. Let's see.
Jack wants to play with the chicks, and
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're chicks.
There was something else. Oh, when I coughed, it reminded me. I've got something viral going on, and I'm sure it's viral because I'm actually on a round of antibiotics. I haven't told anyone about that. Should I mention that?
Yeah, why not?
I got bit by a tick, and I know it was on me for at least 12 hours, maybe longer. We had been working with hay, and I felt like kind of itchy here, so I went like this, and I thought I brushed a piece of hay off of me. And then the next morning, I took a shower, and there was a huge tick. It was about the size of my pinky nail on my back. And I came downstairs in a little bit of a panic.
A lot of bit of a panic.
I was a little bit hyperventilating. And bye, Luke.
See you later,
Thanks
Luke.
for taking your work break with us each week. Chris got it off. He got the head off. He got all of it off. And then I know it was on me for a long time. So we kept an eye on it, and I started getting the telltale bullseye rash. So I've been on a round of antibiotics since then. So it was really gross and icky and scary. It was more scary before I knew about it. Like from the time I found the tick till I started researching, it was more scary. And Sam's allotment is just popping in. Hello, good to see you, Sam. So if you catch it early, usually with a round of strong antibiotics, you don't have a problem with Lyme disease. It's when you get a little tiny tick on you that you don't notice is there, and then maybe you don't see the rash and you don't get antibiotics. So occasionally people who have had the round of antibiotics will still end up with Lyme disease, but that's a much rarer. Usually the round of antibiotics will clear it up. So I have had no other symptoms other than that rash, and I've been fine, but now I've got this gunk going on, so I'm pretty sure it's viral because it would be kind of hard for bacteria to grow in me right now with everything I'm taking.
It might be all the pollen.
It might be allergies.
The pollen count is like through the roof. I mean,
It's crazy this year.
the cars are all like yellow with pollen.
Well, they got a pretty good wash yesterday,
Yeah,
so maybe
that's
not
true.
today. But yeah, I went to my car and I thought I had dust all over my car, and it was yellow pollen all over the car. And I don't think I've seen that here since we moved here. It's worse this year.
Yeah.
So I'm probably like draining and all that. Yeah.
We appreciate all y'all's prayers. That's very kind and
Thank you very
thoughtful.
much. Yes. And though we are stuck at home, we are thankful. It could be much worse. People in Ozark lost their homes from a tornado, and somebody in just not far from us lost a barn. So it actually has been a rare day for us to be home together on the same day. And
A little bit.
after getting up and wrangling cows and all that, we went back to bed and took a nap.
Until the phone started ringing.
Yeah, the phone interrupted his nap. So it's been kind of a relaxing day, but then we went back outside and worked this afternoon. What else? What else is going on, guys? What do you want to talk about?
Bye, Christy. Have a good evening.
We're down to our last 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Oh, wait. Did you guys tell me how'd you do on your screen time? I saw Mama Grows cut her screen time by 2 hours for the whole week. So, but that's still downward motion, right? How about the rest of you? You like the separation wall.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Maybe the wood wall back here? I'm sorry, I'm just not sure what you're talking about for a separation wall.
Anyway.
Yeah, let us know. Ooh, no, I haven't seen it yet. Mama Grow said she saw Endgame.
I've seen it twice.
Chris saw it twice. Do not spoil it. Okay, so that is actually our exterior wall of our house. And we put it up with those were leftover 2x12s.
Yeah.
And maybe if we can find the link, I don't even know what the name of it would have been.
It's Great Wall of the North or something like that.
Yeah. So we banged it up, we tea stained it, we did all sorts of stuff.
We did a vinegar and still wool stain.
Yeah, lots of stuff to make it look like that. And
so all those boards there, it's like 2x4s, 2x8, 2x12s. It's like a random allotment of wood, but it was all wood that we used to form up the concrete slab.
Yeah.
For the foundation and floor of our house.
Yeah. So that's an exterior window there. It's not, that wall is 20 feet tall. And there's a loft in our living room. We haven't done a tour of our house in a while. If I can ever get it clean, we might. And Jay, I don't know if we can be friends anymore, but that's okay. It's not, that window is 9 foot by 7 foot. I'll go run open that exterior door so they can see the view. So we have a sliding barn door on the outside of the house that helps make it darker in here when we need it, and then also for storms. So yeah. Chris closed it last night. I was glad to come home and see it closed. Should I run open it real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, y'all are gonna see my pajamas. I'm in pajama bottoms.
She's wearing her pajamas.
I can't quite scoot out of the picture. I'll make a run for the door.
So yeah, the wall was built with all of the. I'm gonna adjust the screen here, maybe if I don't lose it. The wall was built with all the leftover wood from our foundation, and then the window. Lorella actually found the window at a. Oh, what do they call them? One of those stores where they have all the home building supplies that are like left over. So you can see it's really bright out there. But yeah, it's an actual sliding barn door that slides over the window, and that's my movie projector screen, and that's our it's like a 12-foot screen right there that we watch movies on, like the Avengers. Restore, yes, that's it. That's exactly what it was. It was the Restore. Anyway, Lorella found that huge window, 7x9 window. It's a Pella, all wood frame, double pane glass. It's really nice. And I think she got it for like $150. And she's like, they had 2 of them. And at the time, had I thought, I would have told, well, had I been thinking, I should say, I would have told her to get both of them. But one's good, and I'm glad we got it. So, all right, our house is cool, you think, huh? No, it's feeling pretty cool right now. We got the mini splits going. Right over here, I'll show you. Let's see, there we go. There's one of our mini splits, blowing that nice cool air on us.
It was really bright on the screen.
It was really bright on the screen.
The sun was just coming up again.
So I was just showing them
all right.
a little bit about the living room. There you go.
Okay.
Back at you.
Yeah, it was a Habitat Restore that we got that from. And
I was talking about a good deal you got on the window.
Yeah, that was an amazing deal. What's that light? Is that just exterior light?
Yeah, it's just light blowing through those windows.
And then we do have a video. One of our other favorite parts of the house of mine is the loft railing.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of the video is Building a Loft Balcony Railing or something like that. I did get some sun. I didn't. We were out there working not very long, but I get red pretty quick.
We hope to get to that point where there's no drywall and studs and insulation aren't showing, and it's all drywalled.
Yeah, we're slowly but surely we're getting some more drywall in.
It's not a barn conversion. It was built to look like a barn.
Right. So we call it the Big Red Barn. We chose to build a barn style house. One of the reasons was the expense. Metal siding is durable and inexpensive.
Yeah.
And later, actually, Sam, I kind of wish we had built part of it as like a functioning barn, because we're building on my parents' property and our barns are farther away than I would have liked. In the winter, it's a cold walk over to the barn. And my mom has outbuildings all around her house, but they're about 500 feet from us. So then we have had to come up with our own sort of buildings and make movable chicken coops and the rabbitry and stuff. Whereas if we were closer, we might just share her outbuildings, which she would be happy for us to have.
Oh, well, we do share them somewhat as is.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we are debt free, and we are building our house paying cash as we go. And so that's why we've been working on it for 5 years.
It's slow going.
It is, but it's coming along.
Thanks for dropping in, 1 Acre Under God. So glad you were here tonight.
Yep. Make sure you come up and say hello. I'll be around. There's a lot of people there. And I'm sorry, I want to apologize in advance if I don't recognize you, because you need to remember that you guys see me 3 or 4 times a week, and I only see your profile picture unless you're another YouTuber that interacts, that we interact with awesome. So often. So that's sometimes I was recognized in the store one day recently, and the gentleman, he was like, well, first he said Loretta, which I get that all the time. Loretta. So I didn't turn around because I didn't realize it was me. And then I heard again, Loretta. And
Well, you don't hear stuff half the time anyway.
Well, that's true. So then I was like, do you mean Lorella? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it's so good to see you. And I was like, I'm sorry you have me at a loss. And he said, my wife is Anne from, this channel. And I was like, oh, he's not even in the videos. She's in the videos. And I was like, he said his name, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't place you. Well, I had never seen him. I didn't know what he looked like. And I was like, you gotta help me out here. So I apologize if I don't act like I recognize you right at first. I can't see through the camera. It's not a two-way thing.
So, the night of the Baker Creek get together at the fire pit here at the house, I'm thinking we'll put on like a kids movie on the big screen on the jumbo.
Maybe I'll have to ask the parents if they want that.
Maybe like a Wall-E or something.
We'll ask the parents if they want that. We'll see.
All right, I'm ready to wrap it up.
Probably everybody else is too. Thanks you guys so much for watching. Please give a big shout out to all the admins who are here.
Yes, thank you all the moderators.
Moderators, that's what they're called. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I don't know what we'll talk about next week, because without listening to my phone, I don't have the, what do you call it? I don't listen to the podcasts and stuff, so I don't have all the personal growth stuff going on. So I guess I'm not growing anymore. I don't know. All right. Thank you.
Fish tank. No smelly fish tanks. No, thank you.
Yeah, we had
we can't.
Fish tanks.
We don't do good at keeping them clean and
we had
not stinky.
what do we have? Reptiles. We had reptiles in California. Frogs and lizards. We had those lizards that were pretty cool. But yeah, they're a little bit harder. We also had birds. I don't want indoor birds anymore either. They're a mess. I like having the birds outside where they can just go on the ground and I don't have to clean the cage all the time.
Yeah.
Dogs are enough. All right, everybody, have a good evening. Thanks for popping in, and we will see you next week. Be sure and look for our video Saturday with all the flood footage, and Monday with the what we got from Lowe's video. Thanks for staying up to watch us, Sam, especially. Bye, everybody. Look forward to seeing those of you on Sunday that will be there.